And that's it's right. Change starts now. You see my voice is a little better. I'm not coughing as much. Thanks to everybody who sent me some suggestions for cures. I have tried them all. That's probably the only reason I'm vertical right now, not coughing my lungs out. But I appreciate everybody's support and encouragement for me to get. This was like the worst possible time to get sick, I guess, except for next month. But I had so much stuff to do for February, to be laid out for a few days right now is just a really, really hard thing. But we're making it through. In case you have not seen the scheduled lineup yet for February, there is an online calendar on my Google account. You can find the link on the community wall here on YouTube. It looks like this. As you see all the little boxes filled in. On the 9th, we're not going to have what the fuck Tuesday because that Friday we're doing the $5 advice show. So I put a guest on that slot. But we do still have three what the fuck Tuesdays next month and everything and either an upload or a live stream. And there are a lot of live streams next month with all kinds of guests on all kinds of topics. So I suggest you take a look at the calendar. If there's something that particularly seems interesting to you, be sure to mark your personal calendar so you get an alarm on your phone to remind you, to go and hear it. I guess if you missed the live, you can always hear it later, but I think it's good if you have questions for that particular guest to make sure that you come. Thanks, Leandra. Make sure that you're there so that you can ask the person your question because if you miss it, that's it. They're gone. So try to, be diligent about that. I got a great lineup. I worked really, really hard to get you guys all these really great people. So, please make sure that you're, around to take advantage of their knowledge and expertise to ask your questions. Okay. So let's move on to time for What the Fuck Tuesday. This is the live stream of relationship advice show here on the Depth Tourism channel. We've been doing this for a number of years. I'm about 5 or 6 years into this now. And people send in their questions in advance. If you have a question you want to be considered for the show, look in the show description down below and you'll see the link to the form. Just click it and submit your advice question. Lady Boss will be also reminding you how you can do that throughout the show. So we got 24 questions today. That's a couple more than usual. So let's get started. The question number one is a female in the 22 to 30 age group from Palo Alto, California. That's where Stanford University is in case some of you need like some bearings. My boyfriend just told me that he doesn't feel comfortable being around my father due to his political views as well as unethical things he's done and said. My question is, how should I handle this? I'm 26 and I've been with this boyfriend for 2 years. My relationship with my father used to be great, but it's been increasingly strained over the past 5 to 6 years. My dad is borderline abusive, constantly screaming over little things, extremely selfish, like he won't help me lift things if it's only my stuff, and has been very prejudiced views overall. The two things he's done that have pissed my boyfriend off is accusing him of cheating on me to lash out at me during a fight. My boyfriend wasn't present, but he heard about it, and kind of cutting the line for a COVID vaccine. My dad didn't know I used to be this bad, so I'm confused personally how to deal with it. But some things are just different values in terms of how my boyfriend prefers to live that I feel my boyfriend is judging him on. For example, my parents are very well off, and my dad lives a very extravagant lifestyle, and my boyfriend doesn't approve of excess. My boyfriend has said that he's about had it with my dad and can longer stand being around him, though my dad has always been polite to his face. Is this a deal breaker? I feel really caught in the middle and have zero idea how to deal with it. I'm processing my own emotions with my dad, but I feel weird about my boyfriend having such a strong opinion about him. Oh, that's it? Okay, Miss 22 to 30, you 26 fucking years old. And you can't make a decision to be who and what you are. You got to base who and what you are on what your father is. Are you out of your mind? You need to grow up. You're not ready for a boyfriend like this. Because dude has his own mind. He has his own judgments. He has his own values. And he's willing to stand up for them. You, however, are batting around like a leaf in the wind. You, daddy, this is my boyfriend, daddy. Who are you? You know, you in here, you don't mention what your political views are, what your stance is, or anything. You don't say anything about yourself. All you talking about is what your boyfriend does, what your dad does, and how you don't feel comfortable with your boyfriend disagreeing with your raggedy ass daddy. Now you admit yourself that your father's raggedy, you don't have a good relationship with him. So I'm trying to figure out what it is that you think you need to be so loyal to as a 26-year-old. You know, get out. Get out of your parents' house. And then start thinking for yourself and doing for yourself. This letter here is disturbing, but not for the reasons that you say it is. It's disturbing because you are a 26-year-old woman with no mind, no thoughts of her own, no nothing. This is She's this no, you know, your boyfriend said he just about had it. What that means is he's gonna be just about have had it with you. You give him about another week or two, and he's gonna be looking at you like, okay, so where are you on this spectrum? And then he's gonna cut your ass loose too, and that's probably the best thing because you're not ready. Question number two, male, 31 to 39 from Los Angeles, California. I'm a 31-year-old black male. I'm well employed, raised to treat women well, in great shape, educated, well employed. Oh, you said that twice. Own my own condo, no weird habits, hardworking, and tired of being single. Since we can't really go out to meet other people, last year I joined some online dating apps. Have not had any luck so far, and I'm starting to think that me being an atheist has a lot to do with it. If you trying to date sisters, it's like 99.9% of it. I tried to start something up with a woman who rejected me because she ended up being extremely religious. No surprise there, but being an atheist seems to be a deal breaker for a lot of black women. One woman I know who's not even very religious said that she did not care if a man was very religious just as long as he's not an atheist. I list myself as an atheist on my app profiles, and I've been thinking about removing it. There are women whose profiles are all about God and Jesus, and I'm not expecting them to like me, nor do I want to be with a woman like that anyway. But as I swipe through so many women's profiles, I'm noticing how uncommon it is for a woman to see a woman of any race, let alone a black woman, list herself as atheist. Has this been a tough hurdle for other black men to clear? What do you think about my theory? I think it's very valid. I think it's extremely valid. Um, and I'm going to tell you this, the fact that you're thinking about taking off, because that's the question that they ask on those profiles, and you're thinking of changing it to something that's more palatable, which basically would mean that you're lying in order to get female attention. Okay, so then you get it. It's going to blow up in your face just like this other woman that turned out to be religious, or the one who said, well, he doesn't have to be religious, but I don't want him to be an atheist. Be who you are, sir. This is what's called being authentic, being accountable, being responsible, being your real self. You cannot go on these dating nights fronting and trying to pretend like you're something that you're not just to get attention. That's trifling. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have any, that's no. You're just not going to do that. You're going to leave it as an atheist, and then you're going to add in there, though, but I am accepting of whatever beliefs others have. I tolerate it and accept it, and with what kind of language you want to use, but you want them to know that you're not going to be railing with them, trying to convince them to be who and what you are, but likewise, you would like that same respect. So, I can date dudes who I dated a guy who was a devout Catholic for a hot minute. We broke up, but it wasn't because of that. It was because of some other stuff. His character was raggedy. He tried to hide it behind religion, but he was an ain't shit motherfucker. And so the fact that he was thumping around the Bible and taking his ass to church every couple of days, that didn't really mean anything when I found out who the man really was underneath all that. So that I think, you deserve to give yourself that kind of opportunity. Let a woman see who you are. Because people like, Buddhist and Baptist and Lutheran and Catholic and this, Jewish and Protestant or I mean, people, as long as they have a sense of acceptance and tolerance for differences, just like if some person likes broccoli and the other one can't stand it, one's a Democrat and the other one's a Republican. You mean you can be in a relationship as long as you both are accepting and tolerant. You don't have to be Bopsy twins. You don't have to be exactly alike. You don't have to think exactly alike. As long as the main things about your lives the main, the core values that you have about how to treat other people and how to conduct a marriage and how to raise children, stuff like that. As long as those things are on the par, all that other stuff is just whatever. She can go to church without you. As long as you don't reject, she can take her kids if she wants to. And you can talk to the kids and keep them home some Sundays with you. There's all kind of ways people work things out. But at the core of it is respect for differences and tolerance for differences. And you still love that person anyway. That's just something that they choose to do, you know. But I don't take it off. Leave it on. You're gonna stop. You're not gonna waste a whole bunch of your time dealing with chicks who are going to be like I did with this dude. Oh my God. Okay, this he did too much. I'm all for people doing a religious thing and everything, but I went out with this dude, right? And we ended up having a double date. I didn't know it was going to be a double date with some people from his church. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so then they go to do the restaurant, and we sit down, and they want to do the blessing, right? Okay, well, we hadn't really ordered yet, or had we just ordered? I think we ordered appetizers. I think that's what it was. We had ordered appetizers, so they wanted to do this blessing and stuff. So I'm like, whatever, they bow their heads. I'm not doing that. And they're praying. I'm just looking out the window. But I'm at least be quiet. I'm not gonna, be, oh, don't be doing that. I'm not gonna do that. So then they lift their heads up and everything's fine. So dessert, appetizers come. Okay, well, anyway, to sum all this up, they did a prayer before the appetizers, before the meal, the main course meal, before desserts. Okay, after that, I got up and went to the bathroom, and then I left because they was doing too much. How you gonna be doing three blessings for one meal? So I realized that that's something I could tolerate it, but not to that extreme, and so I had to leave dude alone. Yeah, I don't know. I just was like looking at all three of them, just like, wow, this is kind of amazing. But we was at my favorite restaurant, one of my favorite restaurants, Kincaid's. So I was eating, and I just really didn't care what they was doing because I was getting my grub on. But that was a strange situation. So anyway, let's move on. Question number 3. Female, 31 to 39, out of Garden Grove, California. Oh, we got a lot from California today. I need to see if I'm overreacting here. I've been seeing this guy for a month. I'm 31, he's 35. He came on really strong, treating me well, seeming super interested. Okay, we know what that's about. Making plans with me a lot and following through on them. But last night he wanted to see me after an outdoor concert I went to. I told him my friends were taking me to an after party. He said, okay, then next time. I texted him an hour or so later that we were headed back to his area and asked, did he want to meet? No answer. He put on his story a video of an attractive girl taking liquor shots in his apartment and didn't answer for the rest of the night. Up until then, he had been acting very serious with me. He introduced me to his brother and his girlfriend, and even had me stay at their place a couple of hours out of town. This guy had brought up other girls before, I assumed in an attempt to sound like he had a lot going on, and said he had pretty girls messaging him regularly. So do I, but I don't feel the need to say that. So, yeah, should I ask what's up or just let this guy go? I'm so disappointed since he seemed so sweet and serious and was the first guy to be like this in a while. And he was like, they going to be like that if they have to get them panties. That's all that was. So, when they come on doing too much, too strong like that, you should be leery of that. What's the term they call it? The love bomb thing? I mean, they have an agenda. And the agenda is to get you into bed as quickly and directly as possible. So they hit you with all that stuff. But that's your job as a woman to slow that down. You don't let him set the pace of anything. You never let men do that. You set the pace of the relationship. You decide how much intimacy there will be and when and where. You do that because it has to be comfortable for you. You don't let them just bust you along or rush you along into something that you're not ready for, especially when they start hitting you real hard and fast with stuff to get you, dizzy so you're not thinking, you're not using your brain. You get all caught up in your emotions, and that's what they want. So you have to be very careful when you see a guy coming at you like this. You put the brakes on his butt. Now, as far as a guy telling you that he'd be talking about other women, why did you not shut that down? See, to me, that's the utmost disrespect. You don't get around me and telling me about some other bitch. I don't give a fuck about her. Obviously, you don't either, because otherwise you would be over there. So there's no point in even having this conversation. What are you doing this for? You trying to get a rise out of me? All it does is make me know that you're stupid. So, I mean, you talking about you want to kill some chances for. See, they think they're doing it because it's going to make them, because this is what the pickup artists teach these idiots. Well, you have to make yourself seem like you're valuable and that you have you have options and then she'll want to chase you. Well, yeah, maybe somebody with low self-esteem who's desperate will be chasing you, but a woman who's got some good sense and confidence in herself is going to leave you alone because she sees you out to play stupid, immature, little childish games, and you're a grown man in your mid-30s. So there would be no reason for her to pursue you because you're an idiot. And you go around listening to fools online that are trying to sell you programs for $1,000 to get women when you should be listening to women about how to get women. Okay? Because we could tell you. Them fools don't know nothing. You don't see none of them with nobody other than from one day. So if you're a dude who wants to have a relationship with somebody, then you need to listen to women. And they will tell you how to do it. Okay, they will tell you what women look for, what women like, what women need. You're looking at just, tapping some ass. Well, when your ass is in a nursing home full of diseases and stuff and your dick rots off, well, I hope you're happy. Because that's not how you should be conducting yourself as a young man. Okay, get your shit together. This is ridiculous. That's a major turn off. If you say I'm telling you, I've gotten to the point, this is when I got about, well, let's see, I was probably about 32. And I realized that I didn't want to hear that. Ever again, I didn't want to hear it. And so the guy I was talking to at that moment on the phone, I told him I didn't want to hear it and I hung up. And every man who I've met since then, I just don't, they want to talk about some other bitch. I'm like, look, you want to talk about her, that's where you need to be. Click. And then I'm done. It's just like that. I don't care how much I liked him. Do start playing them kind of games like that, I'm out. And so you, young lady, that's where you messed up. Okay, because he showed you right there who he was. Okay, then he puts the story up of an attractive girl in his liquor shots, and he didn't answer the rest of the night. Okay, that means you kept calling him even after he did that to try to get your goat and disrespected you like that. Then you gonna keep calling him. So see, you messed up a whole bunch of times here, and then you want to turn it around because he introduced you to his brother and his girlfriend. That don't mean nothing. You know how many of men's friends and family members I've met, grandparents, uncles, all kind of stuff. You think I give a shit? That don't mean nothing. They just be parading them around so they can brag about who they tapping, whose ass they tapping. That's all that is. And you putting something on it like it means it's a relationship is serious. Because as soon as you get done, they're going to be talking about, yeah, her booty's big and, this and that and blah, blah, blah. And you think it means something like there's some permanency or something. That's not what that means at all. Now, when they start introducing you to their parents and grandparents, that might carry a little more weight. But sisters, brothers, uncles, aunts, cousins, nieces, nephews, next door neighbors, best friends means nothing. Okay, and everybody else listen to this, understand that too. It don't mean shit. You try to put something on it to make it seem like it does. It means nothing. Okay, nothing. And so he takes you home for a holiday dinner with his family. Well, now you looking at something that might be something, you know, more serious. But if he's not doing that, fuck it. Just like buying a piece of bubble gum. So yeah, you let this dude go and let's move on. Question 4. Female 22 to 30 from South Bend, Indiana. My boyfriend of 5 years suddenly hates my tone of voice. Now, this isn't just when I'm angry. In fact, it never starts out when I'm angry. It's when I wake up, when I say hi, when I ask a question. Hey, what do you want for dinner? And now it's even when I talk to my friends and he overhears. He gets so wound up, hurt, and angry, and eventually shuts down and starts a fight. This is confusing because in my mind, I haven't changed in our relationship. It just seemed that over several years he's latched onto this more and more, and now it drives him insane on a daily basis. I've tried speaking nicely and more gently, but honestly, I can't do this 24/7, and I definitely don't count on doing this with my friends in case he overhears. My friends have no issue with my tone of voice. My patience runs thin after a day of his repeated hints that I need to fix myself, spiteful comments, shutdowns, and just plain being mean, reacting to the fact I'm offending him when I'm trying so hard not to. I think this is a symptom of a bigger problem. You think it took you that long to figure this out? That he can't be happy and in the moment and needs to find problems. But even if it is, this doesn't help. Therapy, professional help doesn't seem to be working either, but it's only every other week anyway. I need something I can do to help this on a normal daily basis, if only for my sanity. Oh, let me give you specific instructions. You go into the closet and you pull out your suitcases. Or you can use hefty bags. They always work in a pinch. You put your things in said bags or suitcases. You put the lock on them or you tie the little knot at the top. You take them to your vehicle, put them in the back seat. You give him the keys to his house. And then you say, I'm out. You can take your stuff, whatever you want to do, and then stick it where the sun don't shine. And then you be out. That's what you do. He's trying to get you to break up with him, but see, you being so stubborn and obtuse, you don't even understand what's going on. It took you, you know, I think this is a symptom of a larger problem. And how many months to years did it take you to figure that out? By the time somebody said that to you the first time and started picking on you, you guys listen to this. They start telling you something about yourself that you cannot change and probably shouldn't even want to. But I mean, I'm not changing anything. So, I mean, from my hairstyle to the fact that I don't want to do my nails, everything about me, you could take it the way that it is, or you can kiss my ass on your way out the door. I don't care. But some women, they'll do, well, he doesn't like red lipstick, so I'll wear pink. Or so, they were a little more flexible. But I'm saying this, if you got a guy who's picking on something about you that's an innate part of you, your voice, your tonal voice, your teeth, your smile, your nose, I mean, your skin tone, whatever, anything about yourself, your body structure, I mean, stuff that you can't change. It was fine at first, right? It was fine at first, but now he is a source of argument and he's picking on you about it. That's the time that it's time for you to hit the door. Okay, because he's trying to destroy you. He wants to destroy you. Instead of just having the courage to say, this isn't really working for me anymore, he wants to pick you apart and destroy you so that when the relationship is over, you're basically roadkill. And it takes you a long time to get yourself back together before you're ready to go out there and date other people and feel confident about yourself again. That's his whole point. He wants to destroy you so you'll be at home licking your wounds while he's out dimming and dabbing, having a good time with 55 other women. But see, you have to be smart enough as a woman to understand that and not allow them to treat you that way. When he started talking on to you, you said several years. That's the part that got me. It just seemed that over several years, he's latched onto this more and more, and now it drives him insane on a daily basis. And so you've been with him for 5 years, and you've been dealing with this for, quote, several years. So whatever point that was where he started finding this as, picking on you about this, that was the point where you were supposed to tell him, look, this is how I am. You don't like it, then let me know and we'll break up. But one thing you're not going to do is sit here and pick me apart like there's something wrong with me just because you decided you don't like my tone of voice or whatever kind of jacked up nonsense you making up in your head. Because I don't think it's that. He just wants to find something to destroy you about. You know? Just yeah, you bending over backwards and jumping through hoops trying to, change your voice and do all this stuff. What are you doing all that for? The tone of voice that you have, you should have used it to cuss him out. That's what you should have been doing. And just use all that tone of voice on him. And then made recordings and left them in various places around the house. And called him on his phone and left that message. Or talked to him and used that tone of voice. I would be wearing him out. Every time you don't want to hear my tone of voice, guess what? I'm going to talk nonstop. I'm going to read passages from Moby Dick. I'm going to do everything I can so that you hear my voice 24/7. I'm going to wake you up in your sleep and use my tone of voice just because I know you can't stand it. I would drive him out of there. You're not going to play that game with me. I'm going to wear you out. Leave voicemails on your phone at work with my tone of voice. Just wear everything I can do with my tone of voice everywhere. Blast it through the apartment on the speakers with a microphone, like I'm singing karaoke or some shit. I would wear him out. Wear him out. So, don't tell me something like that because that becomes like moves to the top of my agenda to do because I know it's going to drive you crazy. And I get great pleasure out of doing stuff like that. So I would do it every chance I got. You at your mama's house? Let me call your mama's house phone so she can put it on speakerphone so I can wear you out there too. Yeah, he's a clown. You need to get rid of him. Let's move on to question number 5. Yeah, you don't like my tone of voice. Female, 21 to 26 from Toronto, Canada. Hi, Deb. I'm 21 and have been quite unlucky when it comes to dating. I attract losers or emotionally unavailable to me men. Every guy I date is always so shocked, saying stuff like, "You're so beautiful." "How are you single? I bet you talk to so many guys." Or, "How many boyfriends have you had? You don't have kids? Wow." They say this stuff both online and in person, just a bunch of knucklehead stuff. It doesn't matter if I agree or disagree with them. They simply don't want to put in any effort with a quote, really beautiful girl because I could have other men in my orbit. Hmm, is that right? I'm writing to you because I don't want to come off as conceited, but if I were to share this with my friends, this is my unfortunate reality. I see other women getting spoiled by their men with gifts and trips and flowers, rents, bills, etc. And I wonder how they got their men to do that for them. I've never been spoiled by a man. Yet I get men who are apprehensive about taking me out on a second date because I'm too attractive and intimidating. I don't get it. Girl, you Drake dating some weenies. My last ex cheated on me our whole 2 years and had the nerve to pull a knife on me when I was breaking up with him because of it. His reasoning for trying to kill me was he couldn't lose me because I gave him confidence, meaning I was something to show off to the world. I have more substance than my beauty. I'm almost done with university. I have a job. I'm volunteering with an international NGO. I have a few side hustles. Yet men don't care about that. They see me as a chick they don't want to invest too much into because they fear I could easily get the next man, or they see me as a trophy girlfriend slash wife while they continue to do dirt behind my back. I'm confident, can't be controlled. I love myself and have no issues leaving dead end situations. What am I doing wrong? Are men intimidated by me? Are they scared of a woman with beauty and brains? Should I just keep doing me? What is it about me that makes men fear committing? Has a woman's beauty really stopped a man from pursuing? Should I go for older men? Help. To the last answer to your question, that's the answer right there. You go for older men who are stable, settled, and have reached a certain pinnacle of success. They're more confident and secure about themselves than these young cats that you've been dating who are just weak and stupid. See, this is my thing. Anytime a man tells you some shit like that, understand this about him. One, he's a fucking coward. Number two, he has no spine or self-esteem. And number three, he knows he don't have the heat to let alone get a woman like you, but to keep her. Okay, because men are very superficial. Let me just put it out there. They go a lot by what a woman looks like. So if he looks at you and he sees himself as like a 7 and he sees you as an 11, well, he knows if a guy who's a 10 comes along, whose pockets are fat, dick is big, and tall, dark, and handsome, that you going to go that way, and he knows it because he don't have the heat to keep you. That's the way men think. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that's the way that men think. Now, what they not factoring in is if you treat a woman well, she's tied to you emotionally. It doesn't matter who's coming along that looks better or got more money or whatever. She's going to stick with you because she loves you. But see, they can't think that far in advance. They think very shallowly and they think like men and they think that only the woman's only value is what she looks like and her cooch. That's how they rate women. So my recommendation for you, as soon as you can get a passport, I want you to get on a plane and I want you to go to Europe and I want you to hobnob with some of them wealthy Italians and Europeans. That's what I want you to do. And don't worry about these clowns over here in the US of A because they're not ready. So, while you're young and beautiful and you got all this stuff going along, see, you're at the top of the dating heap. Don't blow your head up, though. I don't want you to be acting all different and snooty and stuff. But I just want you to understand where you are. You're at the top of the dating heap. So you need to play your cards right, and then you can get a man who's also at the top of the dating heat and go on with your life. But right now, you at the top and you just messing around with folks at the bottom, in the middle, who have no confidence in themselves at all. And those are the kind of men that don't have any confidence. Just like you experience the violence, they feel very threatened because their whole sense, men typically have their sense of self around the woman that they're with or the number of women that they can affiliate with. They don't really have confidence on their own as men. They get it from women. Okay, so if he has a woman that other men see as exceptionally, wonderful, then they blow his opinion up of himself. So they make him look good. He looks good in their eyes because of the woman that's on his arm, and that's how men are stupid. And but that's why I say, young women knowing that, don't give up your youth and beauty to anybody. Don't you get pregnant. Don't you have no babies. You do all of what you want to do with a man who can afford to love you the way you want to be loved. This shit right here, you would be settling for the bottom of the barrel, some low self-esteem having, no confidence having idiots. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, you talking to them from now on, when you talk to them and they ask you any question like that, hang up. If they say anything that indicates that they have shaky self-esteem, get rid of them. Don't waste another second of your time with them. They're not worthy and they know they're not. So you can't convince them of that. Don't waste your time. Just move on. Okay? But like I'm saying, as soon as you can, as soon as you get your ass on a plane, you plan a trip and that's where you go. And when you come back, you'll have you a nice husband with some fucking money and some self-esteem. He's probably going to be 10, 12 years older than you. Okay, can you handle that? But that's where you're going to get all this treatment that you're talking about. And you'll be very happy, and so will he. Okay? Question number 6, female 22 to 30 from Liverpool, England. I was ghosted out of the blue by a man I was dating for almost 6 months. He's 40, I'm 30. He was emotionally available and upstanding member of the community, made it clear that I was a priority in his life, and we spoke every single day, went on dates once or twice a week, and then poof. When my next partner asked about my history, do you think it's a bad idea to mention this? I've heard you say that you're not supposed to tell a new man how another man mistreated you because, like Inception, he will want to do the same. Does hearing that someone has been ghosted or devalued by their last partner make you think less of them or want to ghost them too? I really need to know how to proceed and why. I already told you. Why are you asking this question? You say you've heard me say that. Do you think that it changes because it's this dude? The principle is the same. The reality is the same. Keep your damn mouth shut. Don't a man need to know all of that? What would you tell somebody that for? Oh, with the last guy I was dating, oh, we did all this and that, and he was on so and so tight, and and he ghosted me. What man do you think wants to hear some bullshit like that? Why do you think that that would be something that you need to tell him? How is that going to make the two of you closer? What is that about him, about you, that he needs to know to determine what kind of character you have, what kind of values you have, what kind of morals you have, what kind of life goals you have? That's what he's trying to get to know you. He don't care about what some other clown did. You just erase that from your memory banks like it never fucking happened. You know, when somebody ghosts you, it's over. Okay? Just like any other, you're going to go down the list and tell them every guy that you mess with and how it ended? I mean, this is stupid. Why are you even asking me this question? I'm just getting on my nerves. Look, you do what I told you. Keep your mouth closed and stop. If you can't deal with somebody who's got some sense, you dealing with somebody 40 years old, that's a little too old for you and you only 30. I mean, unless he was like super serious, but it don't sound like it. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, did you guys see? This is the other thing. Like, people fall into these situations, and I keep telling you, ladies, it doesn't matter how many dates you go on and all this old stuff, what you do. We did this and that as a couple, and we did. Okay, have you sat down and the two of you talked about the form of the relationship that you're going to have? Have you talked about what you're going to do as far as seeing other people? What your timelines are as far as what's going to happen in this relationship? If you haven't had any conversations along those lines, not even one, you just start talking about, well, next week we're going on vacation. So you have to have a talk about the structure of your relationship. That's the only time when you can make a claim on a man. That's it. If you haven't done that, then everything else that you talking about is stupid. You just was dating him just like he probably was dating other people too. But you was only dating him because you didn't have that conversation. So you just want to jump to conclusions and just assume shit and start basing your life on your assumptions. That's not how you do it unless you have a conversation with that man and y'all come to an agreement, verbal, emotional, commitment and all this kind of stuff where you both on the same page, then you don't have a relationship and you need to keep dating other people. Question number 7, female 18 to 21 from North Carolina. My job is fast food. This is my first job, and I'm also a full time student. I have an associate's in arts, but still in college for my associate's in graphic design. Why are you getting 2 associates? Why don't you get a bachelor's? This is just a starter job because I don't have any work experience. My personality is meek and I hate confrontation. I've been working there for a month. I'm a cashier. My boss is awful and she continually screams that she doesn't know how to speak in a normal voice. Hmm. I keep to myself and I don't talk much. I avoid talking about my personal life, but the managers constantly gossip about employees behind their back and don't care who hears. My bosses are all women. They continually stare at me and I feel uncomfortable. I'm constantly frustrated because you cannot clock out until the managers override the system. What? I'm scheduled to leave at a certain time, but they pick and choose who and when they clock out. If someone from night shift doesn't show up, they force you to stay. They say the schedule doesn't matter. I have talked to my manager about how I need to leave on time because I'm still a full time student. At first, they honor my request, but now continue to try to force me to stay 2 hours after my shift ends. I was fuming, and coworkers teasing me about being stuck. This woman continually screams my whole 6 hour shift and calls employees monkeys. I feel like I'm at my wits' end and I don't know what to do. I don't want to quit so soon. Okay, so your job is fast food. I wish you had said where, like what kind of chain it is, because every single one of these kinds of franchise businesses have a corporate office. Okay, so what you should do while you're there and she's screaming and doing all these kind of things, and while you can't clock out and they're keeping you prisoner there and stuff like that, you should be collecting evidence. You don't have to say a word, but you should be taking pictures of this. You should be pressing the record sound button on your phone while it's in your pocket and lay it conveniently on the counter and let the phone record these things, and then you're going to go onto the corporate website and you're going to upload all of that stuff on a complaint form. That's what you're going to do. Then you're going to go, where are you again? North Carolina. I don't know what they have there, but here we have the Employment Development Department of the state of California. So I'm sure they have something similar in North Carolina that handles labor laws and, the federal labor laws and the state federal labor laws. And I would reach out to them. They probably have a website, and you can look on there and see what it says about people forcing you to work when after your hours and all this kind of stuff, and file a complaint on them because you should be able to clock out at any time for any reason. That's why they have time clocks. Nobody can force you to stay at work. Slavery is over. So this is all kind of violations of labor codes here that you're telling me. These are illegal things that they're doing. Not to mention it's just, like a nuisance kind of behavior is inappropriate and unprofessional. So the corporate office needs to know about this kind of stuff. The way you're going to prove it is by your recordings. Are they admissible in a court of law? No. But are they admissible in a termination proceeding? Absolutely. Okay. So that would be my goal. My number one goal is to get that bitch fired. All of them. All them bitches fired. So they can never work in fast food again because word spreads. And if their only qualifications are to work, see, you a kid, you a student. But if these are grown women and that's their only qualifications to work is to work in fast food, they're fucked. And guess what? I would love to be the person who did that to them. That would make my motherfucking year. I'm telling you. That would just give me, I would write about it in my diary. I would make a video about it on YouTube. I would post it all over Facebook. Yes, look what I did. Look what these bitches did try to do to me. And look what I did. And then on Reddit, they have a revenge forum. Post it on there too. Oh, I would just dog them. Yes. It is. But yeah. See, but I don't know, like they have different laws in different states about part-time work and I mean it just varies and I don't know anything about the labor laws in North Carolina. So I'm just telling you what you can do to investigate. Even though you are meek, your little ass knows how to log onto a computer and look up some shit, so do it. And this meekness shit, you 21, you going in, or whatever age you are, you in the workforce now, you can't be weak. You're going to be dealing, you black and you dealing with white folks in the workforce. I'm telling you that right now, you better find your courage and get your spine because they're going to be trying to ride herd on you. I mean, from day one. I mean, shit, I started working in corporate America at 16. Luckily, I was just a little asshole. But yeah, they tried me even then. They tried to do shit, try to tell you stuff. And talking about them with this one person, they was talking about we don't pay overtime. That's the phone number. Somebody put the phone number for where you need to call in the chat stream. So you do that tomorrow because it's business day and you can get that situated. But yeah, these people they gonna talk about well, we need to work overtime. I'm like, well, we get double time or time and a half, and they're like, oh, we don't pay overtime. I said, then I don't work. And I got up and walked out. I was 20 years old, 19, something like that. It was working there in the summer. And they were like, oh, but everybody works. I said, y'all crazy. That's all I'm going to tell you. I don't do work for free. I'm not doing that. And so, I went to the state and I ordered the poster about, the hours and overtime pay and, this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then filed a claim on them because they owed like almost $1 million in back overtime pay and stuff for the employees that they had not been paying. So they got hit with that and they were like, oh, they don't owe me any, but I just wanted to be the instigator of the shit because I could. And so they got in trouble and then they paid it. And after that, they just started paying everybody overtime. But I'm like, how come all y'all didn't know that and everybody in here is older than me? And you just letting them get away with that? Now you're going to pay. I don't give you owe me 15 cents. You're going to give it to me. That's just how I feel. So that's what you do, young lady. Moving on, question number 8. We got 20. Well, how many did I say? 24 questions. I'm only on number 8. I got to stop talking. Male, 22 to 30 from Belfast, Ireland. I went on a date with a woman pre-COVID, and she said she was on and off with a guy for 9 years. In the end, after a couple of dates, she said she didn't feel we were a match. No problem. But I've been thinking about it. I want to ask you a question. My question is, have you ever been in an off and on relationship that wasn't an FWB? I've seen this type of relation before. In my opinion, I don't get it. Being with someone on and off for years and nothing comes of it, what's the point? Could it be a safety blanket? Won't deal with anyone with this on and off going forward. What's the purpose of all this? Because they're stupid. Is this a trick question? Dude, if you with somebody and you see the shit's all kinds of fucked up, and so y'all break up, okay, that's your escape. Why would you, now that you're free, go back to prison? Why would you do that? I don't understand it. But it's people, you're right, they will stay in this hamster wheel kind of relationship, going around and around, jumping off, jump right back on. And it's the same shit over and over and over and over. The person that you with, that you broke up with, don't change. You didn't change. So y'all just pick up where you left off with more stupidity. And people will waste decades of their life on that kind of stuff. I'm not wasting a week. If I break up with you, it's over. Okay? We're never getting back together. Don't even waste your time breathing in my direction. First of all, you won't be able to because I'm going to block you. And then, like the dude who tried to send me emails and faxes, he just was trying every kind of way to contact me. But I blocked him on all things. You're not going to reach me because if talking to me and interacting with me is a privilege that's been denied you because you don't know how to act. So why would you do that and go back to a situation where someone mistreated you, lied to you, cheated on you, ignored you, abandoned you, hurt you repeatedly over and over, yelled at you, screamed at you, didn't hold up their end of the relationship? Whatever was the situation that made you break up with this person is still there. Why would you go back to that? So you're right. To any woman that tells you that that's what she's doing, leave her alone that day. The day that she told you that was that you should have been, oh, well, it was nice meeting you. I wish you the best of luck in your 9-year hamster wheel. And then you hang up and you move on to somebody that's got some good sense and knows how to end things. Okay? What a waste of time. Question number 9, female, 31 to 39, out the UK. A guy invited me to his place for our, quote, first date. I said no. Am I being uptight? I have to ask because I haven't dated since before the pandemic started, and I think I've forgotten how to navigate this shitty dating world. I also have big problems being assertive and dealing with conflict. I don't go to men's places on the first date. It's always been my rule. He countered with the fact that everything is closed where we live. It is. And there's nothing else to do. He's right. I counter with a walk outdoors. Although it's freezing here, would probably be more pain than pleasure. Perhaps we could channel our inner teenager and have a parking lot coffee. He's not interested. We basically mutually ghosted each other. I'm wondering if I did the right thing. He kept asking, I kept saying no. He sprinkled sexual innuendo throughout our text conversations and feel like going to his place would just be uncomfortable and awkward because I had no intention of sleeping with him. Never mind the fact that he could be a serial killer. I very much doubt it, but you can never be too careful. What's your opinion? I think you did the right thing, but I think you did it too late. Let me explain something to you, ladies. I keep telling you this. You guys, you accept too much disrespect from men. Okay, you don't even know this clown. You ain't never met this person. And here he is texting you with sexual innuendo. Why did you continue to talk to him after he disrespected you like that? And he gonna treat you just like a hoe? And you just gonna be just okay with it? And still talk to him and still be trying to go on a date with him? What are you doing? See, this is the part that drives me crazy. And then you get into these situations, right? So you get involved with the dude, and then you get your emotions involved with the clown, and then you wonder why he cheats and lies and the relationship is all fucked up. He was a fucked up person from the get go. Okay, he already showed you he's trash from the first conversation that you had with him. When you were texting him, he showed you that he was trash. Why did you keep messing with him? It's just unbelievable to me. You know, trash don't never turn into jewels. Okay, it's trash. It's gonna stay trash. If anything, the trash starts to decompose and it gets stinkier. Maggots, all kind of stuff starts happening. Okay, that's trash. It never, ever, ever turns into anything good. So he showed you that he was trash from the outset. Why did you continue to interact with him? See, this is the thing I don't understand about young women. Even if you say you don't like confrontation, you don't, this and that, it doesn't take any confrontation to hang up from somebody and press the block button. That's not confrontational. That's self protection because he's an idiot. Okay, any guy who comes at you like that, ladies, you got to do better about getting rid of them and stop entertaining these idiots. Stop it. You're just wasting your time, even talking to them. You're going to be saying, well, no, no, no. Is it that you that lonely that you got to do, that you just deal with a fool? Just so you can say, oh, no, no, I don't want to. And it's over and over and over while he puts the mash on you and disrespects your no. And you keep fucking with him? See, I don't get that. I don't get it. I mean, do they not see that this is total disrespect? Is it just me? Don't come at me like that. You're likely to get cussed out. It drives me crazy, you guys. Come on. I want you to do better. I want you to respect yourselves more. I want you to have some good boundaries in place and not accept this kind of stuff from men. Women either. Nobody should be talking to you crazy and disrespecting you like that. If that's your man and y'all doing the wild thing and he's doing these counts as preliminary conversations, that's a different thing. This is some clown she never even met. And they be coming at you like that. And even if you did meet them and you're not ready for that kind of stuff and they come at you like that, it's still disrespectful. And it's like you cannot let these guys do that to you and just put you in the whole category. And you just go in there willingly with no boundaries and they ain't saying shit to them about how they coming at you. Oh my God. Okay, let's move on. Yes, you did the right thing, in other words. He kept asking, you kept saying no. After when he said asked you the second time after you said no the first time, that's when you were supposed to cease and desist all contact and communication with his rogue nigga ass. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay? Just stop it. Question 10, male, 31 to 39 from Orlando. I've had one date with this woman on Friday, and we have a second set up for Thursday. The first time, okay, so Friday, Thursday, okay. The first time I drove to where she is, about 45 minutes away. This time she's supposed to drive to me. But I woke up this morning with a certain feeling in my gut that I don't really want to date her. She's a perfectly nice person, but she wants different things than I want, and she's not my person. Oh, I like that. They say that a lot in the Korean dramas. Should I cancel before she makes the drive? What should I say? I want to reiterate that she was a nice woman, but I just feel she's not the one for me. Okay, I like this letter. It's short It's succinct. Get to the point. Okay, you in the 31 to 39 age group. So that means you've been around the block of time at 2 to 5 or 10. You know what you want and you know what you click with. And it's not to say that, everybody that you meet is an awful person. I mean, they probably would be a really good person, but for someone else, as you surmise. I don't have a problem with that because it's not like condemning her as being like this, really weird person or anything. You just notice that there's some things that she has, some values or morals or ideals or something that are not in sync with yours, and you feel like it will cause conflict down the line. That is how you're supposed to date. Good job. Okay, that's how you're supposed to date. To weed that stuff out and not just kind of, keep going along with it just because you don't have anything else to do or just because, I don't know, entertainment value, whatever. I appreciate that. So, what I would tell you to do, what's today? Tuesday. So, it's 3 hours ahead there, so you wouldn't do it tonight. So, tomorrow, you're going to reach out to her and say, I'm sorry, I need to cancel our date. And she's going to say, oh, why? And you're going to say, as odd as this sounds, I met someone else and I really want to pursue what's going to go on over there. It's, you're a fabulous person, but I just happen to, find this person to be much more to my liking. I feel like we have more in common. Whatever kind of way you want to tidy it up. And then you say, but wish you well. You're a wonderful person. I really enjoyed meeting. You're gonna lay all that shit on there thick so she understands it's not her and there's nothing wrong with her. You don't want to be cruel. And then you just do that because you don't want the woman trying to drive and then you just don't show up. That's rude. And then I will find you in Orlando, Florida, and I will talk about you and probably try to run you over with my Honda. So let's not do that, okay? But I applaud you for recognizing it and not wanting to waste each other's time. So good, really good job. Good job with handling dating as it's supposed to be. Question number 11. This is from a female in the 37 to 45 age group from Oakland. Hi, Deb. I'm a longtime viewer of your dating and advice videos. I am currently seeing someone who told me at first that they are introvert, but 2 months in, I notice every time we talk, she has some cousin, sister, etc. calling, and she has to get off the phone. Hmm. She also says she's looking for something long term, but I feel like she doesn't have enough of herself to go around to all the people that she deals with. She's also a teacher, has no children, and lives on the East Coast. Oh, so wait a minute. So this person is here now? Yeah, you seeing them and you're in Oakland. Okay, so the person's here now, but they live on the East Coast. Okay, I feel like she is never off work. People call her for Zoom calls and she's always checking her messages. Even though she doesn't have biological children, I feel like she does due to the amount of focus she has to give her students, nieces, and nephews. Thanks, Michelle. When I met her, I didn't know she was only going to be in California for a short time due to COVID. Now I'm faced having to choose to have a long distance relationship with her, but I'm not sure how that will pan out. She informed me that she doesn't want to combine finances, and now she isn't sure she wants someone to move in with her, yet she calls me all the time. A lot of the time when she calls me, she's talking about different things she wants to do for her business. I feel more like a sounding board. It only gets personal when we start talking about sexual things, but I don't want that kind of thing to lead the way. I feel like I'm in a position to put my foot down harder and say I want to date with a real possibility to move in with someone and possibly combine finances. I'm afraid to think of doing this with her because it sounds like before I've entered her picture, she has promised her time and money to her family, nephews, and cousins. Even though she has a short time in California, she's spending her time with her roommate and local relatives, but says she really likes me. She said her roommate's jealous of me because she's single and got jealous the one time I was there. So since then, I have never been able to hang out with her where she stays. I always have to meet outside, and she has been in my place, even though it was hesitant about that, because I consider that something you do in a committed relationship. But due to COVID, there are limited places to hang out other than parks. Basically, I just need to know, should I just keep talking to her about something long term or just realize she's stretched too thin to promise a healthy long term relationship right now? What I'm going to tell you is this. Luckily, I'm seeing that this is a same sex relationship, and normally that's not my field of expertise, but luckily this isn't something so particular. This is about relating to a partner, and is this a good situation or not, which I think transcends everything. So I feel confident that I can answer this question. And I'm going to tell you the same as I tell everybody in a hetero relationship. If the person's not willing to give you the relationship that you want, what do? You leave them alone. This person here has too much going on that's putting up um, insurmountable boundaries. This person is emotionally unavailable. If you have any doubts, look at the video I did a couple of weeks ago, Sunday sermon on emotionally unavailable men, but just change it to this person here, and you'll see the similarity. When people put up these kinds of boundaries where you can't, there's nothing you can say because it's their family, it's their work, right? It's something that it's like a brick wall. You can't go any further with that kind of stuff that they put up. And then throwing in there about this roommate getting jealous and all this old kind of stuff. I mean, what's up with that? Is her and the roommate getting busy or something? I mean, that doesn't even sound right to me, that your roommate would be jealous. You see what I mean? There's something going on. Like she's staying with this woman because she's supposed to be having some kind of situation going on with her. That's why she can stay there while she's on the West Coast. My minds, inquiring minds want to know these things. But bottom line is, with all that she's got going on, and like I said, the type of things that she has going on are things that put up a wall. You'll never get past it. Anytime that you do trying to get closer to this person, it's not going to last. And the final thing I want to say to you is this expectation that you live together and combine finances. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that with anybody. You know why you're not going to do that? Because you're not married. Now, if you go down there and you do the little civil ceremony and you get all the legal protections that a married couple gets in California under the law with their money and all division of property and all that kind of stuff, well, then you can talk about that. But until then, I'm going to tell you, just like I tell these single women with these rogue ass men that they be trying to combine finances with and buy stuff with and stuff, you're not going to do that. Haven't you learned enough lessons from listening to them? It's a way to just get fucked over, and you would have willingly done it to yourself. You're not going to do that ever. You hear me? You're going to keep your money in your bank account, and you're going to keep your PIN number to your damn self. You're not going to give it to nobody. If you guys want to have a joint account together, like to pay the rent or something like that, you do that. Okay? But that's it. But I really don't even see why you need to do that. Just write your check for your half. I don't understand all this combining things. I don't want to even come. Even when I'm married, I want to have my own shit. I'm not combining my shit with you. My husband had this weird habit. He wanted to go in the back. We had one of those checkbooks, with the 3 checks. Like you put it in the desk drawer. It was a desk time. And he would go in the back and he would want to just rip out the whole sheet of checks and put in his wallet and take them with him. And just be writing checks willy nilly with no concern for how much was left in the account or what I might have written or something. It was crazy. So after a while I said, look, this ain't gonna work. You driving me crazy. I can't do this. And so we disbanded all of that activity and that just did not work. Yeah, I don't know where he got that habit from. It's just like, do you just think like because you write a check that means that the money's there already? I mean, what were you? I just didn't understand what he was thinking. Question number 12, male, 31 to 39 from Sunnyvale. There's a woman I've been playing sports with on and off for a while. While playing, in addition to a lot of other topics, we discussed dating. And she got out of a long term relationship recently. I'm still looking, but have told her about some of my recent dates. We always just play and then go our separate ways. Recently, she asked me about good places to eat, and I told her about somewhere nearby. After that, she asked if the food is good, and I told her yes. Then she said that maybe we could go there after playing and could show her around, and I agreed. When we were talking about dating, it seems like we have a lot more in common than I thought. I always thought of her as just a friend and kind of wrote her off for dating before, but consider her as more after some of our recent discussions since I found out we have so much in common. I'd also be fine just being friends. Not sure how she feels. Is this going to be a date? I've never had a single woman near my own age invite me out to do something other than sports, and I don't know how to interpret it. You're going to interpret it as she invited you out to get something to eat and try to talk to you and get to know you better, because chances are, just like you noticed that she has a lot in common with you, she probably noticed the same thing. Is this a date? No. You two sports buddies or whatever going out to eat after you wear each other out on this court. I'm assuming you're probably playing handball or something like that. But you uh don't put too much on it. Just go. Enjoy yourself just like you do when y'all play your little sports. Okay? Don't put any pressure on yourself and don't put any on her. And then later, if you talk to this thing happens, then if you know you want to move things along, then you going to man the fuck up. And you going to say to her, okay, let's just say her name is Linda. Linda, I just, all the time we've been playing sports and everything. I guess I just never realized how much we had in common and how, much I really enjoy talking to you and stuff because we just never did that. And so you can say, how do you feel about me taking you on an official date? Like, because the places are open back up. We got to notice, so certain things is opening back up in the area in California. So you could actually maybe take her out to dinner. I'm sure they're going to have every other table open or something like that. Or you guys can get takeout and eat it at your house, or take out and eat it at her house, whatever you're going to do. But, there's some more options now than there were a couple of weeks ago for this kind of stuff to happen. So that's what you're going to do, home skillet. After this thing, if it works out, you're gonna make an official announcement, and it's not gonna be no doubt in her mind that it's a date and that your interest in her is more than platonic or playing sports. You feeling me? You're gonna get your G on, and that's how you do it. And that's what women appreciate, that because we know where you're coming from. And it's like it's no doubt in her mind, it's no question. Okay, well, we just hung out this time, but he said an official date. So, let me put my pearls on and stuff and get cute. All right? That's how you do it. Question 13, female 22 to 30 from Phoenix. I am 22 years old and I feel ridiculous asking this, but after a string of bad dates, I'm starting to realize men have no interest in who I am as a person. After date number one texted me, I can't stop thinking about your sexy body. The following day, what is this? I think this is a vomit. The little emoji that shows the vomit. I blocked and deleted, then went on date number two with an open mind. I started out by covering the bases. After all, we are essentially strangers to get the conversation rolling. He's 25 and finishing up on a master's program. I asked about his university course and internship and inquired about his day-to-day life and took an interest in who he was as a person. God forbid I have a life, personality, or achievement myself, because this dude had the audacity to say, well, let's skip the boring stuff. What do you want to ask me? Wow. I let him know way in advance through my actions and words that I'm in no rush to get physical. I deleted him and will not be meeting up again, but regardless, this guy wasted my evening and I'm pissed. I have my own interests, funny stories, and crazy experiences I'd like to share. I'm not just a mishmash of walking body parts, but a whole person. How can I weed out men who are only into me for my looks versus men who are physically attracted and interested in who I am as a visual? That is the power of le telephone. See, you young folks don't know how to use your phones. You think they are merely for texting. They're for talking. Okay? You talk on them. And if you would talk on your phones, a lot of the stuff that you waste time on a date, going out, meeting some cretin, you could have screened him out on the phone while you were sitting there in your pajamas with your hair a hot mess, no makeup on. You could have screened him out on the phone before you ever went through any trouble to go on a date. I am a firm believer in using the telephone. I will ask you all kind of questions. I will turn into Barbara Walters on your ass, inspiring question after question after question, because I want to know what you think, what you feel, how you believe, what your morals are, what your values are, what kind of stuff you gotten yourself into over the years. What's your dreams? What's your pains? I want to know. So by the time I get finished asking you, then I will decide if I'm going to put on an outfit and go out in the cold and weather the storms for you. Otherwise, well, it was nice talking to you. I wish you the best. I hope you find what you're looking for. Bye bye. Okay, that's how you do that. It's not that hard. Y'all just want to be, just putting too much on it. And see, this right here, what she said, this is exactly why I do coffee dates on the first date. I want to be in and out in 20, 30 minutes. I don't want you wasting my whole evening. And I'm not getting dressed up. I'm going to look just like this. And I'm going to have on my boots and my yoga pants or whatever, jeans, whatever I'm going to wear. And then just you're going to make it work and you're going to like it. That's what I'm going to do. And then by the time, if you make the cut and we go on a real date and I dress up, well, then you're going to be like, oh, well, goddamn, what happened? Who is this? That's what you're going to be like. But you're not going to get all that on the first date because I don't know, you might be an idiot. I love that line. I'll do that. Make the magic happen. That's my favorite line when I be getting on my nerves and I just want them to go away. fan the hand and say, make the magic happen. But other than that, I'll be like, I hope you find what you're looking for. Good luck with that. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, ain't nobody going to want to be bothered with your ass except the dumbest bitch walking. Because you're crazy. There's something wrong with you. But, you can't really say all that to people, but I sure be thinking it. I'm going to tell you that. I sure be thinking it. But you, young lady, that's what you have to do. You stop all this texting. I know that's the thing that y'all like to do, but you need to talk to people. The words, the tonal inflections, you can hear people laugh, which you can't through a text. People could put LOL on their face, be straight. They're not laughing at all. But you can hear if they're amused. You can hear the way that their breathing change. If they start getting angry, you can feel their frustrations. You can hear stuff on a voice call that you cannot get on text. And so you have to talk on the phone. I don't understand how people get past that and then want to just go on a date and think it's going to be okay. You never had any kind of real exchange with this person except for some texting. You in your 20s and 30s, stop texting and use the phone like an adult. This is ridiculous. Okay. Question 14, male 31 to 39 from Austin, Texas. I have a close female friend who's 30. Last month, suddenly she became distant and started to not respond, even though she's been active on social media. I gave her some time and asked her a week later if everything was okay and if there's something I may have done or said. She responded that she needs a break for personal reasons and that it wasn't me. Understandably so, I've been respecting her boundaries. I only checked in with her once, twice, 2 weeks later, which she didn't respond to, and now it's been over a month. I haven't personally ever had to be in a position for any other friends, so I'm not used to this being common. I've been using the free time to focus on myself and other people around me, but I still care for her. Even though I trust her that she'll return to talk again, I can't seem to get rid of the feeling of what if and if I should check in again but not come off as clingy. Okay, I'm confused. You say this is your female friend, but you having all this angst about, I trust her to come again. She'll talk to me again and stuff. What? Huh? I'm confused. I Is this a female friend that she don't want you, but you hoping that there's some chink in the armor so you could slide in there, like one of them in case of emergency break glass situations, and you want to be under the glass and pop out and be like, "Here I am." Is that what's going on here? I'm trying to figure this out because the way that you phrase this as her being a friend, and then all this stuff that "Ah, she'll return to talk again, and I can't seem to get rid of the feeling. What if and should I check in again?" I mean, you're doing too much for a dude who has a female friend, and that's all she is a friend. You shouldn't be worrying about her like that. There's something going on that I'm reading between the lines, and there's something going on here that you're not willing to admit. But let me just treat this like it is your friend. You're doing too damn much. Okay, she might have met somebody else who don't want some dude hanging around all the time. But she don't want to tell you that. But that could be very well what it is. She met somebody. She busy with him. She don't have time for you. You just a friend. She want a lover. That ain't you. Okay? So get it through your thick skull. Leave this girl alone. When she want to talk to you, she'll reach out. Other than that, leave her alone. She told you to leave her alone. See, this is the kind of thing you become a bugaboo and then she gonna start cussing you out. She already told you to leave her alone. Okay, that means don't call me. Leave me alone. Do it. Leave her alone. Okay, do something else with yourself. She didn't respond in 2 weeks and now you haven't talked to her in a month. That would be a clue that she don't want to be bothered with your ass. Don't you think? You're just doing too much. God. Question 15, female 22 to 30 from Portland, Oregon. Ever since the pandemic started, I moved back in with my parents. I've been stressed and lonely and anxious for a variety of reasons, and I aired all my stress out on my mom. Oh, did you now? Today, my mom broke down and told me how much she's been hurt by my actions, and now that I look back, I feel like a horrible piece of shit for being so narcissistic and rude to my mother, who sacrificed so much for me. She's getting older and weaker, and the fact that I've hurt her so much in the past 6 months makes me hate myself. How do I repair this? I don't know if I can ever make up for my horrible behavior, and I know saying I'm sorry simply isn't enough. What you need to do, because you kind of old to be acting like this some teenager shit. You 22 to 30 years old. What you need to do is sit down with your mother and you say, all of this that you just said here, and that you're really sorry, that you just really been struggling with whatever, and you just did not handle it like a mature adult at all, that you're embarrassed, that you're humiliated, that you want to do what you can to make it up to her, that it will never happen again. That's the main thing you need to say, and you need to mean it. And then you say, Mom, what can I do to help you? What can I do to mend these fences? Tell me what I can do, because I don't want our relationship to be injured or damaged. I will do whatever it is that you need me to do, and blah, 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 whatever. You're going to say all of that, and you're going to mean it, and you're going to do it. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, the only ally that you have in this world is your mama. Fortunately, some people don't have that, but if your mother, it sounds like your mother's been in your corner, like you said, she's been there, she sacrificed so much for you. So for you, that is the case. Your mother has been there for you. Why would you treat her like that? So yeah, you need to feel awful about yourself, because that was some awful things to do. But you're gonna talk to your mother like that, because you would at this point, your relationship has to kind of morph into something else. Not like parent and child, but like friends. She's still the mother, and you still have to give her that deference and all of that. But it's different, because you're an adult now. You have adult responsibilities, and you need to deal with them in that way, and you need to deal with your mother in that way, like a responsible, mature person. So all this going off and stuff like that, if you wouldn't do that to your friends, act stupid with them, you wouldn't do that to an employer, act stupid with them. Why do you think that you should dump on your mother like that? See, if you got the wrong kind of mother like me, you would have got cussed out and tossed out, because I wouldn't have took that. Sitting there and broken down and crying and all that. I'm not going to do that. The one who's going to be crying is you. I'm not going to be crying. You're going to be up the fuck out of my house. And then when you're on the street, you can figure out when you're out there cold why you're there. And then I suppose the tears might come. Don't cry too much, because they'll turn into little popsicles on your face. That won't work for you. Yeah. Well, I mean, some mothers don't want gifts. They would rather have, depending on her love style. She might prefer acts of service, like help her clean, or so, or you clean so she don't have to, or you wash all the dishes, or you cook a couple of times a week, or you do the laundry a couple of times. I mean, whatever she wants help with, that's what you do. You step up and do that, because not everybody wants gifts. Some people would prefer that you do things. So you look at that. Let's move on to 16. We got 24 questions. This is number 16 of 24 on What the Fuck Tuesday. I repeated earlier in the show, if you have a question you want to submit for submission to this programming, because we have it every Tuesday, look in the show description down below. You'll see a link that says Get Advice. Click it, and it'll take you to the advice submission form. Likewise, there is a button up here in the top of the YouTube thing, a little green button that says Get Advice. You can click that too to take you to the same form. Okay? Okay, so moving on to question 16, female 22 to 29 from Washington, D.C. I met a guy online on a chat site a couple of weeks ago. We hit it off and had an amazing chemistry. From the get-go, laughing, sharing, it was really nice. I really feel this with someone. After 3 days of interacting with him off the chat site, I asked him for a pic. He said that he would send one. It was a bit weird already, why we haven't exchanged one before, but we were always so deep in conversations on Skype, this topic wasn't brought up and he didn't ask. My pic was on my profile, so he saw me but didn't comment, while he didn't have his there at all. So we kept on chatting. He sort of forgot about my pic question, so I asked again a week or so later. He sent a pic of him in dark glasses and a COVID mask, so I didn't see any of his facial features except for confirmation that he is a man and appears to be a little older than me. I am 28. I saw this as a red flag and asked why he is hiding. I said I'd like to have a better image of him since we chat. He said he doesn't have a picture of him, but this one accused me of being too skeptic. Huge red flag. I replied, I feel like I'm being led on here and that I don't feel comfortable this way without knowing who he is. To my shock, he said he won't try to convince me the opposite. I'm way too skeptic for his taste and wish me all the best. I'm shocked. Dude, our communication went from great and lovely to a goodbye in 10 minutes because of a picture? I'm beyond confused. What does he have for not sharing who he is? Is it smart to break it off when this happens? Is this suspicious enough in your opinion? Thanks for taking my question. Okay, okay, so you met him a couple of weeks ago on a chat site. What's a chat site? I don't know what that is. Okay. But anyway, you interacted with him off the chat site. You asked him for a pic. So a week or so, a week or two, and then he said you being led on. You're too skeptic for his taste and wish you all the best. Okay. So what are you asking me? Is it smart to break it off? Oh, absolutely. What reason does he have for not sharing who he is? Probably because he's married or he's super ugly and he knows you wouldn't want anything to him. He might have some facial deformities or something, but most likely he's just married and he doesn't want, or just somebody that you know, and he doesn't want you to know who he is. You know, like somebody from your work or something, maybe. You know what I mean? He's trying to hide who he is because he doesn't want it to be out. He doesn't want you to have a picture of him so that you can ID him. So yes, it's good to break it off because in a situation like that, you don't know who you're talking to. Not to mention, to say they can't send a fake picture because they often do that too. But at least you have something. You know, you have a phone number, you have some kind of situation to ID him. But um, I wouldn't worry about this too much. You say you're shocked, but by the bottom line is once he started turning you out and kind of dodge, giving you a picture of who he is so you could identify him and you're talking to this person, it helps to have a picture of him so it adds some reality to it. Likewise, you could have just said, well, let's just Skype or WhatsApp or FaceTime or whatever y'all be doing these days. So you could have seen him there. But he didn't want to sound like didn't want to do any of that. So, I mean, he's trying to hide. He just wants to pretend that he has some, somebody he can play with on the internet, and he has some other situations. Like I said, either he's got facial deformities, or he's way older than what he told you, or way younger than what he told you, or he's married. So it's gonna be one of those. Yeah, it could be another woman, but she said he identified as a man, so she feels like she confirmed that. She said that I was thinking about that too, but she says that she felt, confirmed that it was a male. So we have to roll with that. Question number 17, female 40 to 49 from Cardiff in the UK. How would you feel if you overheard a conversation between your husband and one of his best friends where your husband basically told his friend that his sex life was shit? They then went on to discuss having a threesome, husband, friend, and friend's wife. Husband seemed really keen. The next day, husband claimed it was just drunk banter and played down the whole thing. It didn't sound like a one off conversation, it sounded like something they talked about before. Deb, I feel humiliated and embarrassed. What should I do? You should file for divorce. That's what you should do. First of all, let me tell you this. See, this is the thing when people, and a lot of women just don't get this, and men say, well, it was no big deal. You're making too much out of it. No. When a man truly respects his wife and his marriage, he doesn't have these kind of conversations. Even if someone tries to have it with him, he shuts that shit down. So the fact that your husband was gleefully all up in his house with his friend, talking about that and talking about personal stuff about his marriage and his wife, and saying nasty negative things about you, and what he wants to do some freak shit like that with some other man's wife, and he knows you in the house where it's possibility that you could hear it. This is a man who does not give a shit about you. Okay, I don't know why you still married to him instead of writing me from your mama's house or some hotel or somewhere to tell me about how you left the clown because of what he did. This is the kind of thing like if your marriage, you basing a marriage with a man who does this kind of stuff towards you and towards his marriage, your marriage is shit. Okay, I just want you to understand it. Whatever you think that you have as a marriage is a joke. So you are married, you calling yourself married, but I don't know what he's calling himself doing. But I tell you what, if that were me and I heard them talking like that, I would have my little legs right in there, cussed them both out, got his wife on the phone, told her what they was talking about, and then went in the bedroom and packed my stuff and told her, you will be hearing from my attorney soon as he can get the papers drawn up because I'm done. I don't know. I have just way too much pride to be calling myself loving a man who would do something like that to me, to talk about me like that in my house. No, no. It would be so over. I can't even imagine how the pain that you felt, and then to sit there and still be married to him enough to write me this letter. Girl, you should have been gone from him. You think this is going to get better? You think this is something you can fix? Do you think you're going to change his mind and that he's going to start treating you better and thinking about you better? This is just what you heard. You know, the fact that he was that comfortable to talk to his friend like that, that's not the first time. This man's been disrespecting you forever. Men don't do that, that really respect their wives in marriage. They would die rather than tell somebody some shit like that about their woman. They would not do that. So I don't know what kind of man this is that you married, but you need to get rid of him because he's gonna take you down. This shit here. Then the next thing he's gonna start hounding you about it. Well, you know, we was drunk talk, but you know, we really would like to do it. What do you think? Do you want to? You know, they're ready. You know, and then you're gonna find yourself in a position where you're trying to please your husband. So you go forward with this because this happens to a lot of women. They go and they do it. They don't really want to do it. They hate themselves after. They feel cheap and dirty. They feel confused and hurt. They feel like, you know, what's going on? What kind of marriage is this? What have I done to myself? How does he doesn't even care about? So then all those emotions and the hurts come later, and then they've already damaged their self-esteem and self-respect by doing these deeds that typically they're against. That's not their idea of a marriage. And so you're violating your own boundaries and your own morals and values in order to please a man that doesn't really respect and want you anyway. Do you see what I'm getting at? So you're on a downhill slope. I'm trying to stop you before you go there. Understand everything I just said, and this is the natural order of things. That's how it goes down. That's how it's gone down for thousands and thousands of women before you. Get out now. This is a toxic situation for you, and it's never going to improve. He's shown you who he is. You better believe what you heard. He not crispy yet. He would be crispy after I flamed him on, though. But this is sad. I'm just trying to warn you. This is a downhill slope. This is gonna go nowhere fast. It's gonna take you right down with him. Whew, my God. Let's move on to question 18. This is a male in the 31 to 39 age group from Lexington, Kentucky. It's taken me a while to come to terms with this. I'm 39, I've been divorced, and I haven't even gone on a date in years. Part of this is because I honestly enjoy being a bachelor. I can do what I want and pursue my own hobbies, but the other part is that I don't have women swooning over me. I'm definitely not ugly. I'm 6'1". I'm in good health, while my shoulder frame and general bone structure would be considered thin. I'm definitely in good shape. For example, I can do several pull-ups. The problem is that I don't have a traditionally masculine jawbone structure. My face is pretty narrow. I also don't have a nice facial hair pattern. My skin is smooth, but I can only grow a goatee if I want it. A full beard is not an option. Over the years, I've noticed that most of the women who do show attraction to me usually aren't the type who choose a man for his looks. This sucks to realize. There was a girl, this is stupid. There was a girl at my previous job who had divorced her husband. We obviously had a connection. When she told me about her ex-husband, she said that she picked him because he has a good heart, but that she wasn't physically attracted to him. I've heard this many times with women that I form connections with and discuss relationship with. It's almost as if they're suggesting, well, you aren't attractive either, so you are definitely my type. You're talking to them. How did you jump to that conclusion? There's something wrong with this man here. Another example at work happened just a few weeks ago. This girl who I got along with very well and even flirt with was talking to a guy in our department. He's very muscular and attracts the ladies. Something embarrassing happened to him where his hair got all messed up. We were joking about it. Then this girl says, "It's okay. You're the only attractive male in this department." I was right next to them. I jokingly said, "Hey, what the hell? No love for me?" They laughed. Her response was, "I was just trying to make him feel better after what happened." I don't want to be with a woman who isn't physically attracted to me. I want to be desired, not just for my personality, but physically. I know with women it's more complicated, whereas men tend to be attracted to a woman purely physically. I know this is not as common for women. They'll be attracted to a man who dresses well, has money and resources, and shows an ability to socialize and exert confidence, etc. I understand this, but I just don't want to be that guy who was like my coworker's ex-husband that got married because he has a good heart. I'd rather stay single forever than be with a woman who doesn't love my body, my face, and my appearance. How do I know if this is the case? How do I know if a girl is just showing interest because I have a good heart and personality versus her being attracted to my body and wanting me to get in bed? Okay, first of all, you said you skinny. You in good shape, but you skinny. That automatically knocks off half the female population that don't want no skinny ass man. Okay, I'm just being blunt with you since you seem to need a reality check. I'm gonna tell you, when you're a little skinny dude, only certain kind of women are gonna be attracted to that body type. Cause you put on like them androgynous looking clothes and stuff, and she dresses the same. It's hard to tell who's the girl and who's the boy. Okay, well, you got that kind of girl. So, you have to understand that just your body shape automatically kind of puts you behind the eight ball. Now, can a woman be attracted to you? Most certainly. Is she only going to be attracted to you sexually? Nope, not with your body type. It's not going to happen. The dudes who are built like The Rock, who's built like Denzel Washington used to be, well, he still got a nice body. Who's built like, I don't know, Ryan Gosling, who's built like some of these new Chinese actors, the Korean actors, they have nice bodies. When you're looking at a man who's desired by women just for his physique, it tends to be people who have muscles, broad shoulders, narrow waist, the V back, tight, muscular legs, and they're tall. At least, 5, 10, 11. Those women will drool over those guys and they will be attracted. They won't care what kind of money he makes, whatever. We just like looking at them. Do we want to marry them? No. Do we might want to sleep with them? Maybe. But we definitely not trying to, see only that as being husband worthy. Now, what you want is somebody who loves you and who's attracted to you. And that's what everybody I would think wants before they get married. That in itself is not strange, but I'm just telling you that at a certain point, a lot of women are being taught and trained not to go after what they want. We're being socialized to accept what men want to give us. Even other men on YouTube are doing that, telling women that they're too picky and that they shouldn't, hold out for what they want. They need to settle. That's why she got with the dude who had a good heart. Okay, so I want you to understand where that's coming from. You're trying to blame it on her, and it's not. It's female socialization. I'm telling you, all over YouTube, you can see that proof of what I'm saying, where people are telling women that their standards are too high, that they want too much, that they need to settle for what men want to give them. This is the thing. Am I lying, ladies? Isn't this what's going on? If we try to hold that because we want the whole package, no, you shouldn't do that. You just have to settle for Mr. Good Enough, and that's what she did. It happens. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan, yeah, him too. That's what I'm saying. But even though he's not like a big dude, like built up like The Rock, he's still got a very cut, physique. Dude is cut and he's muscular. He's ripped. And so, the broad shoulders and everything. So I'm just saying there's a certain look that turns women on. And there's a certain look I would imagine that turns men on too. But this is just what it is. You're not gonna get around that. So you're gonna have to work with what you got. You could increase your muscle mass, eat more, and do some weights. You could broaden your shoulders very easily. We could make your back more ripped and muscular. You could get your six pack. You can bulk yourself up and work on your legs. There's nothing worse than a man who's got a top big body and them little toothpick ass legs. I hate that shit. Look like he about to tip over. Don't do that. But you can definitely increase, what you look like. Find a hairstyle that's flattering for someone with a slim face like you have. That makes it not look as skinny. There's things that you could do to change your appearance and make yourself more attractive to women. Find out what those are. Well, yeah, but you hard to get a personal trainer these days when um, you can't really work with somebody and working with them on the internet is not the same unless it's somebody you worked with before in person and you already know, their cues and stuff. You already know what to do. But a new personal training client, I wouldn't do that, not internet based. So those are my suggestions. And if your woman wants you and you getting some booty and she's taking care of you and loving you and all that stuff, stop being picky about why. Just accept the blessing that came your way. Question number 19, female 46 to 55, no location provided. Thank you for choosing my letter. I have a rather uncomfortable question. My husband is in his early 60s. I'm 49. We are both active, physically fit, and healthy. We have a wonderful relationship in every aspect except the bedroom. He's in his early 60s and you're 49. Okay. Our bedroom life has reduced to once or twice every 6 to 8 weeks. We went through a period of trouble on his side, and after many failed attempts, I just stopped initiating because when he couldn't, it would really bother him emotionally. He eventually got a prescription to help with the issue, but he still seems to struggle with getting or maintaining his eggplant. I recently learned that he gets up before me, takes the pill, and works really hard at getting the equipment ready before waking me up for a quick session. I know age has a lot to do with it, and we have been together for a very long time, so it's not like I am new and exciting. I have tried not to let it get to me, but recently I'm feeling really undesirable and sad. I'm not sure how to stop that line of thinking or how to get him to want to discuss it. Every time I try to bring up our intimate life, he says, I have no complaints. You are amazing and I love you. Let's not make an issue out of it. I know he is embarrassed by it, but how do you figure out if there's a problem if he doesn't want to discuss it? Maybe he needs me to be different or do something differently. Part of me wants to talk and see if we can fix it, but part of me thinks it's not like I can make him desire me. So what would be the point in telling him that this is taking an emotional toll on me? Have we officially entered that phase of life where things naturally shift to quality time rather than physical fun? Do I just spend the rest of our time waiting for him to work hard at having intimacy with me and then be happy with what I get? It makes me tear up just writing about it. Do you have any advice for me? Yes, you tell him, look, either you get that shit working or I'm going to get a boyfriend. That's what you do, because he want to brush it off like because he's excited and he's satisfied that means you have to too. You're 11 years younger than him. You're not even 50 years old yet. So, you still hot to trot. And he, for whatever reason, is not. He's trying to do something, but he's just not successful. And he seems like he's kind of given up. So now with him, with a lifespan of, 80, 85 years old, that means he's got another 20 years, 25 years to live like that, in which you case would be married to him and you would be going dickless for another 25 years. That's what we're talking about here. And you think that's okay? I was saying, look here, you better do something with that raggedy piece of shit you got down there, or I'm getting a boyfriend, or I'm getting a divorce. Which one do you want? Because I'm not going to suffer the rest of my life like this. Not for 20, 30 years. I'm not going to be like this. It's not going to happen. And it's like the thing that people don't understand. When you're married to somebody and you still in your sexual prime years, then that person is responsible for your sexual satisfaction if they want you to stay faithful and all that old stuff. Now we're not talking about extreme circumstances where someone is sick or in hospice and stuff like that. I mean, although some people do that even then too, but the bottom line is he has to figure something out because to keep you on a hold like that while he just dilly-dallies around and you've already been dealing with it for years. It's not like you just jumped up and said it. This is something that you've been trying to deal with for many years. And now it's just reached a breaking point where it's starting to affect you mentally and emotionally. You have a decision to make. Personally, I would be like, look, it's been nice, but I got to go. And then I would get me somebody about 38, 39, 40 and have myself a ball. That's what I would do. I wouldn't be bothered about him. But that's why I'm not married. So you might not want to listen to me. But I'm just saying that's how I already know how I would handle it. That wouldn't work for me. Question number 20. This is a female 22 to 29 out of Detroit, the city of Dustzillas. Hello, Deb. I really need some guidance, she says. My boyfriend and I have been together for 10 months. He gets out in 4. He gets out in 4. We met while he was inside, and the closer it gets to his release, the more anxious I feel. I am nervous now because COVID has kept me from visiting him. So all we have had are video visits, calls, and emails. So the 10 months of you, quote, together, you've never visited him. All you've had with this man are video calls and emails and phone calls. Okay, I just want to make sure I understand. We talk about it, but I think it's a risk. I think it's just a matter of that connection and chemistry we have now will be the same. I agree to listen to the vibes and follow my gut. When he gets out, it would be a little over a year of dating at that point. He seems kind of reassuring, but I don't know. I used to say if he gets out and ghosts me, I will deal with it, but now being in it, if he did that, I would lose it. I have done a lot for him. I don't really know what to do. Anyway, thanks for hearing me out. Please do not judge me, as I am aware it's an unconventional relationship. You don't want to be judged. You shouldn't have wrote me. You wrote the wrong person and didn't tell me don't judge you. I'm going to judge you. And I'm going to judge you harshly because I'm going to wonder what the fuck you doing 22 to 29 years old with some fucking jailbird. That's what I'm wondering. Don't you have nobody else in Detroit, Michigan that you could go out with? You got to go find the dregs of society, somebody locked up in prison? That's the best you could do. It wasn't like you was with him before we went in there and you all just kept it going. He ain't your baby daddy, your husband, nothing like that. This is some clown that you met while he was locked up. How did he even find you? Okay, this is what you're going to do. You are going to send him a Dear John letter that say, I don't want to do this anymore. I want a relationship with someone who I can really reach out and touch and spend time with and go to the movies with and watch Netflix with and have dinner with and stuff like that. This, I don't know what I was doing, but this isn't really working for me. And you're going to send it to him and then you're going to block him on the phone. You're not going to accept no more collect calls from him. That's what you're going to do. You're going to block his ass on email. You're going to block him on your phone so he can't call you. Loser ass bum. I'm like, these dudes up in prison are trying to come up on somebody so they can come and have somebody put money on their books and buy them stuff and then come out and be crashing at your house and driving your car and eating up your food. No, you're not going to do that. Just wasting your time. If he wants to do all that, let him figure it out. He can go to a halfway house, make the magic happen over there, leave you the fuck alone. I'm just telling you. I couldn't. As soon as he said he was locked up, I would lose interest. It's bad enough when they tell me that they already on the out, but they was locked up. I'm like, depending on what you was in there for, I might still lose interest. Unless something like, a bench warrant because you got traffic tickets or something. But if I find out, because it's easy to find out, I find out is anything serious, and please don't let it be murder or child abuse or, some kind of sexual assault or something. You be on the sex offenders, anything like that. Oh, no. No, no, no. Don't even talk to me. You wasting your time and mine. But, you too young for this. Well, any woman's too young for this. This is crazy. Do something else with yourself. Get you a job, get some money, and move the fuck up out of Detroit. That's what you need to do. Oh, a lot of them be cute when they be locked up, but that's the only thing they got to do. But I'm like, yeah, but I know what happens to the cute ones in prison. Don't be trying to spread that disease to me. What you done happen? I have a cousin that works at San Quentin. Okay, San Quentin prison. The stories he tells about the shit that goes on there with the men. I wouldn't want nothing to do with any of them. Nothing. It's just terrible. And he stay in the gym. He stay built up because, you got to be like throwing them 250-pound niggas around. And they be just as buff as he is. But nope. Question number 21. Females 40 to 49 from Christchurch, New Zealand. My question is about second dates and what the best timing is for one. All over the web, singles discuss timing for moving from online to a video call or a socially distanced first date. But what about a second date? I'm 45 and I've been chatting with this guy who's 47 for a few weeks. After a few days of messaging on the dating app, we met for a socially distanced walk where both of us had a good time and have continued to message each other. I'm letting him set the pace for a variety of reasons, like business ownership, sharing custody of young children, other obligations with aging parents, etc. Ooh, he sounds too busy today. So I'm just wondering if not suggesting another meetup is totally normal and indicative of him being busy, or if it's an indicator that things are fizzled out. What do you think? I think you putting too much on it. You are in the 40 to 49 age group. Okay, you 45 years old. You ought to know how to date by now. You on a dating app. You should be having first, second, third, fourth dates with a whole bunch of different people, not just one man. That ain't your boyfriend. So all this, I'm waiting for him. I'm gonna let him set the pace, and he's not you. You're not dating him. You went on one socially whatever distance walk. That's not you. That's not your man. Okay, so you don't need to worry about where he is and what he's doing. That's irrelevant. Get it straight, lady. You putting too much on a one walk and some text or something. Okay, that's not your boyfriend. You don't have no commitment with him. So worrying about where he is and setting a pace and all this stuff, that's irrelevant to your situation. You need to get back on the dating app and be going out with some other people. If he calls you to hook up and go out again, then if you free and you want to go, you go. But most likely you will be busy with some other people who are more available than he is. And so you'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I met somebody else, and so I'm on with them. But it's nice to hear from you. How you been? What you doing? How's the dating site working out? You find anybody yet? No. How's work? How's the kids? That kind of stuff. Just a chit chat. But you don't worry about him. You don't put no stock in what he's talking about. Yeah. Just just treating him like he's her man or something. I don't get it. Because even when they are my man, I still don't worry about where they are and what they're doing because I'm too busy thinking about what I'm doing and where I am and what I got going on. It's like I have to figure out how to squeeze them into my world because my world is full of me. Me, and all the stuff I'm trying to do. I barely have time to do what I'm trying to do as it is. So then to try to figure out how I'm going to fit some man in and his needs and stuff, that's why I'm like, ugh, I just really don't want to be bothered. So that's kind of like not really high on my priority list. But for those of you who it is, you got to figure out how to fit them in. But, don't do it to the point where you sacrifice what you're trying to do. All right. And don't put a lot on it like she's doing either. Date several people so that you don't have this problem where you're fixated on one guy that you're not even committed to. Ooh, question 22. Female 22 to 30 from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I am wondering if you can tell me how to know where to draw the line as to what things are acceptable and which are not in a romantic relationship. Oh, that's a big umbrella. I often find faults in men I'm seeing/dating, like they are not empathetic or ambitious or disciplined, kind enough, etc. For example, this guy I'm seeing now has a good job, is responsible and good looking, consistent at messaging me, but he seems to lack basic empathy. He didn't ask me how I was doing when I was sad, and I'm starting to think we are incompatible. When we date, how do we know if something is an absolute deal breaker? And how does his other traits come into play when you decide whether to proceed further or not? First of all, if you date somebody and you sad, why is that his responsibility? I want to know this. Because I'm a woman and somebody says, oh, well, I'm sad. I'm like, what the fuck you expect me to do about it? I'm way over here. Now, if you want to talk about why you said, I'm willing to listen. But if you think I'm going to be asking you all the kinds of questions about it, I don't give a fuck. So, I mean, but for me coming at you like that, it would just be rhetorical. It would be fraudulent. It would be a waste of both of our time because I don't care why you're sad. You don't have shit to do with me, right? We didn't have a fight. I didn't come into your house and destroy nothing, kill your dog, run over your stuff with my car in the lawn. I didn't do anything that would warrant me having my ear bent to hear about why you sad about some shit that don't have nothing to do with me. Now, this is something that a lot of women don't understand why men don't want to ask them these questions because they don't care either. That's why you should have female friends to talk about that kind of stuff with why you're sad. Men don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you. And that's a reality check that a lot of women just don't seem to understand. We do have a lot of moods. We have a lot of moods, and most of them don't really have anything to do with our relationship or with our man. So why do you think you should be the dumping ground for that? Likewise, though, I tell them, I'm not going to dump mine on you. Don't think I want to hear yours either. You coming in here talking about you sad about something that happened on your golf course or your team lost or some shit, I'm going to look at you like you crazy and then tell you I don't give a fuck. Okay, and so you understand. Don't tell me that. You better call Rollo and them or somebody who might care. That ain't me. I don't care about your team. I don't care about your boss. I don't care about your coworkers. I don't care about your best friend. I don't care about none of those folks. That's you. Your mama, all of them. They all in the same category. I'm just saying. So, you're saying he doesn't have the kind of empathy. I'm thinking this guy is just a normal person and you holding him to some standard that just in your fantasies where somebody gonna be like hovering around you like they're your mama. It's not gonna happen. Now, he seems like, I mean, unless he's got something else wrong with him, that's the only thing that you could come because he didn't say, how was you doing when you was sad? You're tripping. That's what I'm gonna say. So in this case, where things are acceptable, this is totally acceptable. You're just dating him. He's not married to you. He don't have that kind of. He's not in love with you. He don't have that kind of commitment to you. He don't give a fuck why you sad. Understand what time it is for the level of relationship that you have. It's not his job to give a fuck about why you sad. Okay, I mean he could just say it just to be socially polite or something, but that don't mean that it would be true that he would really care. It's just gonna be going in one ear and out the other. Yeah, they just care. They pretend. That's what I'm saying. Can't hide. They pretend, and some women need to understand that if you have some real issues with sadness and whatever, I mean, unless it's something that he can relate to, like the cat that you have that he's played with. Okay, now the cat died. Oh, he's gonna get that because he has a relationship with that cat. Your mother died or some father or something. He's gonna understand it because he's met those people. You know what I mean? But you just gonna talk just some miscellaneous random sadness, and you think he's gonna care while you figure out all that feeling. That's when you have a diary or a best friend or somebody who really cares. It ain't your man. You don't give a shit about all that. And like I said, I'm a woman and I don't care. And I will tell people I don't care about that. I don't want to hear about that. Talk about something else and let's hang up. I just be honest. And some people know. All my friends know how I am. So they don't even they don't get insulted anymore. They already know how I am. So question number 23, female 22 to 29 from Ottawa. My boyfriend is 28 and I'm 27. We've known each other for 5 years, over 5 years, but been in a rocky relationship for 15 months. Our relationship has been up and down where trust issues has made us fight. He even broke up one time during the 15 months. Nobody ever cheated though, as far as I know. During the time we got back together, we got along fine. It just so happened that I found out I was pregnant. Oh my God. When I was 10 weeks and 3 days along. Okay, let me reiterate here. 28 and 27, 5 years in a relationship for 15 months. Rocky broke up. Okay. I found out I was pregnant when I was 10 weeks and 3 days along. I found out so late because when I first missed my cycle, I thought nothing of it as I was on contraceptive. But when I missed the second one, I took a test which was positive, and my OBGYN explained that the contraceptive may sometimes fail even when taken religiously. My boyfriend was happy regardless and excited for a baby girl. I was as nervous as he was, but very happy too, and felt it was meant to be. Things seemed to be working out between me and him for a while. He would caress my tummy, and we would watch videos of how babies grow in the womb. Soon we started spreading the news to friends and family. Lately, however, I found myself giving more as I was cooking all the time, cleaning the house, washing all the dishes after dinner, doing all the groceries, and I couldn't do it all by myself. He would only clean his car. We don't officially live together, but with the quarantine going on, I've been living with him a lot more to prevent leaving the house back and forth so often. When I addressed it to him, he said he should take some consideration that I was pregnant and need his help more. He got mad. Since then, it's all gone downhill. He would bring his lack of giving to the relationship on me because he says I don't make him want to give. He barely kisses me. We're not intimate anymore. He says I'm not who he imagined I would be. Not sure what he was expecting of me, she says. He says the more he gets angry with me, the less he feels for me. He keeps accusing me of talking to other men when I'm clearly pregnant, which doesn't make sense. With the pregnancy hormones, I keep losing my patience at his nonsense. And that's when I raise my voice or speak too loud, and this gets him even more upset. I just don't understand why we fight so much. It's like he hates me. Everything I do is wrong. And he wants me to listen to him, but never let me talk. He wants to be right all the time. I am so tired. We spent this week apart just to take some space and diffuse the situation. We went to some baby stores yesterday, and I told him it was nice seeing him, and he said, "You too." This morning he said he misses me, but he's still angry. I don't know what to say, because I know when he's still angry, everything is used against me, so I didn't say anything. He's been saying mean things intentionally to hurt me and get me to raise my voice, but I'm doing my best not to stress my baby. I told him if he wants to leave, he can go. He's picking these fights with me, and that tells me he's tired of me. I am now 18 weeks pregnant, and we're supposed to be going for an ultrasound next week. And I don't know how we can do that together with the way things are. I need advice. I need help, please. I have no idea how to do it alone or how to co parent. And I think he has already quit on me. My intuition tells me he isn't in love with me anymore, and he wants out. He wants out. Please, advice. I am hurting. Give it up for adoption. It's too late to get an abortion, so you're going to give it up for adoption. Fuck that motherfucker. Let me tell you something, little girl. You knew him for 5 years, and then you only been in a relationship with him barely over a year, and all this bullshit and drama has come out. That means he was an asshole before. Just, I guess you either ignored it or you didn't see that side of him for whatever reason. But I'm not going to be trying to guess because, it is what it is. But what it's not going to be is put you in a situation where you're going to be struggling for the rest of your 20s and 30s to take care of a baby that you had by somebody who don't give a shit about you or the kid, who doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't give a fuck about how you suffering while you pregnant. He doesn't want to be bothered. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to consult, go to one of them adoption agencies and tell them that you're going to have this baby and that you want to give it up for adoption. And then you're going to get all the paperwork and you're going to tell them you need to sign here so we can get this baby up for adoption because I'm not going to be no single mama suffering with your raggedy ass baby. I'm not going to do that. If you want the baby, you can have it. I'll sign it over to you. You and your parents can raise it. But I don't want shit to do with it. I don't want shit to do with you. And it's going to go either to these other people or to your family, but I'm out. And don't ask me for no child support or nothing either because I'm willing to give it up. So if I give it up to you and give up my parental rights, or you sign here. Those are going to be his only two choices. Either you going to sign and give it to him or he going to sign and y'all going to give it to the adoption agency. Because this makes no damn sense. And the main thing is because you already say you don't know how to do it alone. You don't know how to co-parent and he has already quit on you. That's a trifecta of fuck up for a kid. Okay, you got to think about the baby. Don't think about yourself. Think about what that child deserves to have, which is a good life and education and some people around who can take care of it and function as mature adults. That ain't y'all. Okay, let's just be real here. So you get the baby, you look into it, and that's what you're gonna do. Because see, my thing is, I don't care about the adults in the situation. I don't give no fucks about you. That all I ever care about is the kid and how the kid is going to be suffering and how the kid will fare being in a situation with the two idiots that made it so carelessly. There are lots of people who are willing, ready, and able to take care of a child and raise the child and love the child, support the child's growth and development, educate the child at the best of schools, and give it lessons and music lessons and teach it all kinds of stuff, foreign languages, all kind of stuff, and really give that child a leg up in the world. That ain't you. That's not you. So you two need to think about this and think about your relatives are going to try to convince you otherwise. It's, oh no, you should keep your baby, this and that. Do you want it? I'll sign it over to you. Don't ask me to come visit you or don't ask me for shit though. Do you want it? Because you ain't going to tell me what to do with my time and my energy and my life. Do you want it? If you want to sacrifice yourself for it, then let me know. Otherwise, you go down to the adoption agency and you can adopt it. But that's what it's going to be. And then once that happens, you break up with this motherfucker because he's done showed you the inside of his ass and how callous he is towards you. This is not a man that you stay with and give your time and life and body to. It's not this. He's not the one. He's not the one. Oh, this is the last letter. Okay, I'm sorry. And this is the final letter, and it's long as hell. I don't know what he is, but one thing he definitely is, we don't know if he's a user or not. What he is very immature and very self-centered. He wants to, he wanted to play the daddy and all that stuff until the reality hit. And now he wants to start backing off and leaving it to her. So, but see, that's when you have to do the dip out. Either you give them two choices, I'm telling you, and it makes motherfuckers get a whole new understanding because they think as long as they're going to clip your wings and put you in a trick bag, they all for it. But you tell them, no, 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 we're not going to do that. This kid is going up for adoption. Either he's going to you and you can have it, or it's going to strangers and they can have it. But I'm out. Okay? That's what you got to do. He was ready to stick his dick in her and make that goddamn baby, so that means he was ready. See? That's the whole thing. You be sitting up there, you be doing everything to make a baby. Don't be surprised when it comes. That's the part that always trips me out about dudes. Well, I wasn't ready to be a father, but you was fucking. And that's how babies get here. They don't come by magic. It ain't no bewitched over there, dinka dinka dink, making the baby come. You did that. You did everything to make that happen. So don't be trying to crying like, well, I didn't want to be a father. Yes, you did. Otherwise, you would have kept your dick in your pants. I got a vasectomy or something. So every time you stick your dick in somebody and she's a fertile woman, a baby is what could come out of that. So don't be telling me that you wasn't ready, he wasn't ready. I don't give a fuck about that. You was fucking. That means you was ready. Okay? You let my son had come home and tell me some bullshit like that so I could be still kicking his ass and shooting at him and all kind of other stuff would be going on. I don't understand these parents that let their sons get away with that shit. Well, I wasn't ready to be a daddy. Was your motherfucking ass fucking? And then I'll be clocking loading up my bullets because I'm fixing to shoot at you, telling me that bullshit. You should have kept your dick in your pants like I told you. You didn't do that, so that you get ready to get daddy. You got to get a second job, son, and you'll be moving the fuck up out of my house because I don't feel like hearing no screaming ass baby. So you're gonna get two jobs and you're gonna move your family into a place and y'all gonna make that magic happen. And don't look for me to do shit because I wasn't in the one in the bed making it. That was you. I'm $10. Son, daughter, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna be changing my life and suffering because of what you did. That's gonna be on you. You about to suffer the rest of your life with that shit. And I hope you have a good time. Send me a postcard. Now let's move on to the last question of today. This one, number 24. This is from a young man, 22 to 30 age group from Westminster, UK. And this letter is long. My God, dude, really? Why do you write so much? I met this girl 7 years ago in college. I fell for her, told her how I felt. We were in a relationship. She's kind of an extrovert, open-minded and fun. Gets along well with most people, but I'm an introvert and I would like to call myself a focused person. Our relationship was good. We both loved each other. She likes to eat out, have fun, splurge money. I did not like her behavior as she transformed herself from a lean girl I met in college to a borderline obese girl who enjoys food over anything else. We had regular fights due to our poles apart nature and habits. I'm just a normal person who likes to work out 5 days a week at least. That's not normal. I made her join various gyms, but she left right after paying the fees. She hardly went for 5 days after paying fees for 3 to 6 months. Till now, she has done nothing after promising me millions of times that she would change herself and her habits. As time passed, I got anger issues. I got fed up with her behavior as the relationship got abusive. She even cheated and left me thrice and came back begging to me. Thrice. Is that 3 times? I accepted her each time as she was my first love, and I promised I wanted to do good in life. I also accepted her as she promised me to change. Often she said she cheated me because I wasn't having anger issues and tried to control her life, and she was rebelling. I trust her now that she won't cheat again and so she realized her mistake. But the problem has not been solved. We fight every other day due to the same old reasons. She says I am a control freak and I want to change her as I don't accept her wrong attitude. She has a family history of diabetes, blood pressure problems, and she herself is obese with PCOS and liver problems, but she does not do anything about it. She always has a financial crunch and has no savings left, partly due to the fact that she's the sole bread earner for her family. I support her in life through thick and thin. I'm also trying to deal with my own life problems anger issues due to the frustration I feel. I also believe my family would not approve of her and her behavior. Her family and friends think I'm a rude, egotistical person, and I don't like her childish, silly behavior. We are both in our late 20s, and I think by now we should be responsible for our life finances and health. I want her to be a little mature, get into a fitness lifestyle, dump those 4 to 5 credit cards, and live a classy life ahead. I have been through a lot. I still want her to fix her life and live happily with me. I have already forgiven her cheating. It is not relevant now to me. I just wrote to give you a better understanding. I love her, but I used to love her a lot when we first met, and I have changed a bit as things were not going on as I have imagined. Please suggest what I should do. You should break up. That's what you should do. You know why? Because you want someone else. You want someone who doesn't have a family history of diabetes or blood pressure issues, and who's not obese, who doesn't have liver problems or PCOS, and who does something about it. You want someone who doesn't have a financial crunch and who's has savings left and who's not the sole bread earner for a family. You want someone who's going to join the gym and work out with you 5 days a week and think that that's normal. I mean, I did that when I worked as a trainer, but I had to because it was like part of my work. It wasn't because I wanted to. Not 5 days a week, 3 usually, but not 5. And this I made her. See, when you say made her do something that she didn't want to do, that shows that you're a control freak right there, dude. I don't understand why you trying to rebel against that title because you need to put that hat on and wear it proudly. She promised you, but she didn't do it. So those are just words. She's rebelling, and she told you she's rebelling. I don't see really anything here that's worth saving. You wrote 2.5 pages of shit. You want somebody who doesn't have credit cards, and you want somebody who your family does approve of, and you want somebody who you don't think about that has childish, silly behavior, and you want somebody who's responsible for their life and their finances, their health, and you want somebody that can live a classy life with you and somebody who can fix their life and live happily with you. Those are the things that you want, and she's not offering you any of those things. And therefore, this relationship is a waste of time. Once you get to the point where you realize that love is not enough, you will dump this and move on, and that's what you need to do. Okay? Because love is never enough. And if I can't, I think about all the love I have for people, but you know what? I love myself more. And so when I got ready to be tired of dealing with that stuff, that's what I did. I dipped out. Yeah. Well, she cheated on him to rebel, and I understand that. It's just like a little kid, like your parent won't let you, I don't know, go someplace, so you sneak and go, you know, and you got to feel like if he's on her, hounding her like this. How much romance and kind words and stuff would he be saying to her? So everything that he's saying to her is critical and condemning and judgmental. So yeah, if somebody talks sweet to her and stuff, her attention would be diverted over there because she's gonna get to feel good and it's with a guy, which is not something that she gets with this boyfriend of hers. You see what I mean? So it would be very easy for a guy who was the player type to note, check that out and see how she's looking and feeling when she's around this man that allegedly loves her, and then make his move. I mean, if I was a dude, that's what I would do. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. I mean, if you operate like that, and if you just want somebody you know, to dip with, that would be a good, I mean, it's like a willing victim because her dude treats her like shit. And here you come in there talking the way she wants to talk, and she hearing and feeling the way that she wants to feel, and the man telling her she's beautiful and perfect just as she is, and all that kind of stuff. Then where's my phone? Then that's what she's going to do. Sorry about this. I gotta turn this off. That's the way it's gonna go. So that's what I have to say about that. And that was What the Fuck Tuesday, 24 questions. So that was kind of a long show. We got a lot of live streams coming up next month. I've been recording, doing some interviews with people that we're going to edit and upload. So we'll have, a mixture of uploads and live streams, but there's going to be 23 guests in total for the show. Then we got the What the Fuck Tuesdays, 3 shows. So that's 27. Wait, 23, 26. And then we got the advice advice show. So that's 27. And then we got the live stream panel on the 28th with was going to be six guests and me. So a total of seven women on a panel discussion closing out February on February 28th. So those are the 28 days of February, a video every day. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, hit that subscription button. It's an annual event. This is our fourth annual one. It kills me every year, but I think I have a better handle on it this year because I'm started in advance. But I appreciate everybody for showing up and for contributing to the what is that thing called? Super chat. And also, what I'm going to do is when we have the $5 video question, $5 advice question on the 12th, I'm going to go through my Patreon subscriber list and all of those who are $20 or more Patreon subscribers. I'm going to give you a coupon so you can get a question answered for free. Either you can do it this night or you can save it, because we'll be doing this again in like, I don't know, May or so. And you can say, or you can use it then. But all my $20 and up per month Patreon subscribers will get a coupon for a free question. All right. But I appreciate everybody. Let me just say that one more time because I know this is so there's a lot going on in this channel. I'm so flustered. But I appreciate it. And we're going to get you guys some really great shows coming up for the next month. If you have any topical ideas you want me to address after February, send them to survivingdating@gmail.com. All right? You guys, love you. See you later. Bye, Lady Boss. Shay.